Okay, so we'll do a little Yin Yoga for stress relief, which we can always use, I'm sure. So grab any props that you have. We'll start in caterpillar pose, and this will just depend on your flexibility in terms of what this is going to look like for you. I'm going to go ahead and prop my booty up on a blanket, and then legs come straight out, and they're not together, so they're like hips width distance apart. And then you'll just start grabbing any props that you have, because you'll come into a forward fold and you just want your head resting down on a block or bolster. So let's see. So you may be here, and this could feel really easy for you. Or if you feel like you need even a little bit more props, like I probably do, you can stack up 2 bolsters and another blanket. You could literally just stack up anything that you have if you need that support. And then rest your hands down. You can slide this bolster forward on top, and then you just bring your head down. Settle in. So find what works for you to come into a comfortable caterpillar pose. Relax your face. Make sure you have some support for your head. And just notice where your body might be holding on to some tension. Really let your props support you, so you don't have to have any of that tension. You've got the support of your props beneath you, on top of your legs, underneath your head. You could open your jaw a little bit, close your eyes. Send the breath to any areas that feel particularly tight. As your mind wanders, come back to your breath. Maybe as you are in this pose, you find you could go a little bit deeper at this point, taking a prop away. Only if that feels like a natural next step. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release. Lift your head up. Set your props out to the side, but in front of you, because we'll need them for our next pose, of course. So the next pose is frog pose, and it can be pretty dang intense, really deep hip opener. So I'm going to start with a blanket here. And that's where my inside of my knees will go. So for frog, you take your knees as wide as you can, but not so wide that you don't feel supported. You don't want to be like Bambi on ice, like losing your footing. And then you'll take a bolster. And you definitely want support underneath your knees. So that could mean that you have like a towel under each knee if your knees tend to go past the blanket. And then flex your feet. So ankles line with knees, knees in line with hips. So the tendency would be to sit back, but we actually want to come forward so the hips stay in line with the knees. Keeping feet flexed, and then you just shimmy on down. So I already know I need one more bolster here. This is probably a pose I should do every day because my hips are so tight. I'm going to move this mic here. And then it's probably like half of your belly's hanging off. Rest your head down. If it's okay for you, just put your forehead down, stack your hands. You can lift your tailbone up a little bit. And remember that as you come to the inside of the knees, keep the feet flexed and keep the hips probably moving more forward than back. And just breathe into your inner thighs. This pose is just ridiculously intense. And just breathe. And if bringing the forehead doesn't work for you, you can just bring your left ear down. Keep your breath smooth and steady. Maybe you can find you can go a bit deeper, but not overdoing it because you still are holding it. And one other ear can come down to the mat. We hold a lot of stress in our hips, so it's important that we continue to open up our hips because if our hips are really tight, we'll tend to have low back pain and then also just bad posture because we might hinge forward in our posture at our desks. So that could be a sign of tight hips. So this is just a really great place to open up between the inner thighs, the groins, and the hips. You can switch sides in terms of the gaze if you took one ear. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Use your hands to prop yourself back up and slowly shimmy the knees toward each other. And then you can set the bolster aside. And we'll come to a supported bridge. So come on down to your back. Down into the feet, lift the hips, slide a block underneath your sacrum. You can just pick the height. I would say the first or second height, but not the very top one. Your chest will automatically come up toward your chin, so just lift your chin away from your chest. You could let the arms be out by the sides. You could take them overhead. Just feel your whole system calm down. Let the weight of the block let the weight of your body be supported by this block. Let your shoulder blades melt into your mat. Keep your chin lifting away from your chest a touch. Face is soft. Pay attention to the rise and fall of your belly. Stay focused on your breath. And your breath is really the one that's going to help you through all of it. Stress, anxiety, big sensation, big emotion. So the breath is the tool to take off of the mat. It's like a tool in your toolbox. In breath. Exhale, release. Good. Press down into the feet to lift the hips. Come off of your block, draw your knees in, and take a few circles. And we'll set up for Shavasana, or final resting pose. So you can bring a bolster. You could also find an eye pillow if you like and have the luxury of time. But you could have your bolster up like this, or you could just lay it down flat. And then bring your back down. Find complete comfort and stillness. So now the legs, nothing is doing any work. And then you get to choose. Like you could cactus your arms out, take them to the side. Put your eye mask on, cover yourself up with a blanket, become really cozy. And just take as much time as you can here. Finding time for yourself where you can just be. Be with your body, pay attention to what's going on there. Notice the quality of your breath. See if you can make that smooth and steady. And then the automatic way to get out of like a fight or flight freeze situation is to inhale, expand your belly up like a balloon. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly falls. You stay here as long as you like. I'll see you next time. Namaste.